Social Security seems to be at risk once again, not because of the government shutdown, not because it's going to become insolvent in 10 years, but because of a Supreme Court ruling. This is brand new news coming out right now. If we take a look at the headline here, so Social Security, Medicare, and other key programs Americans rely on become vulnerable depending on an upcoming Supreme Court ruling, a former federal official says. With this news coming out, could your Social Security check be at risk? I'm going to give you all the details on that, as one senator is pushing for a new proposal for Social Security. This is the Social Security Fairness Act proposed by Sherrod Brown, a senator from Colorado. If we take a look at the headline here, a U.S. Senator pushing for Social Security Fairness Act. I'm going to give you the details, give you a quick clip of what he's saying, how this could affect your Social Security check, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Before I dive into the main content, if you appreciate these Social Security updates, hit the like button and subscribe for more Social Security updates regarding proposals, bills, increases, decreases. Also, this video is sponsored by my company, WiseSense. If you or anyone you know is looking to fix your credit or have negative items removed from your credit report, I got a link down in the description below for more info on that. All right, let's get into it here. U.S. Senator pushing for Social Security Fairness Act. It's called the Social Security Fairness Act, a bill that allows private sector workers to get everything they paid into Social Security and already has bipartisan support. So first responders are constantly putting their lives on the line for the public, but it's a job that doesn't come with Social Security benefits. Instead, these public sector jobs pay into a pension system. In order to get Social Security, they have to work secondary private sector jobs. The problem is, when they become public sector workers, all the Social Security they racked up becomes reduced or eliminated altogether. Firefighters across the state are being penalized for chasing a career in public service. So Ohio U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown made a stop in Boardman Tuesday to advocate for Social Security benefits for first responders. It's called the Social Security Fairness Act, a bill that allows private sector workers to get everything they paid into Social Security. It already has bipartisan support. Take a look at what Sherrod Brown has to say about that.
If you pay into it, you should be eligible for the full benefits you pay for, period. Wall Street gets all their friends to talk about Social Security running out of money and they want to privatize it and all that. Social Security will always be there. My commitment is to make sure it's always funded, so it will always be there.
What are your thoughts on the Social Security Fairness Act? Good idea, bad idea? Let me know your thoughts on that. Add it to the other dozen of Social Security bills that are in Congress right now, although this one does have bipartisan support. Let's moving on over here. Social Security, Medicare, and other key programs Americans rely on become vulnerable depending on an upcoming Supreme Court ruling, a former federal official says. So what's going on here? Just when we thought Social Security was in the clear due to the government shutdown, that's gone, or that was dealt with a couple of days ago, at least for 45 days. But what's going on here? So the Supreme Court is hearing oral arguments in case of challenging the CFPB's funding structure. If you're curious what the CFPB is, I'm going to get into that in a moment. A former FDIC official said an adverse ruling could risk Social Security and Medicare. So how could it be at risk? And is this just fear tactics? Is this really going to happen? Could Social Security be at risk again? Let me dive into the article, give you all the details, answer all those questions. So the nation's highest court is about to hear arguments in a case that could have major implications for consumers nationwide. On Tuesday, the Supreme Court will hear oral arguments in the case Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, that's the CFPB, versus Community Financial Services Association of America Limited, which argues that the CFPB's independent funding structure is unconstitutional. Since its establishment in 2011, the CFPB has relied on Federal Reserve for funding rather than Congress' annual appropriations process, which the Fifth Circuit ruled last year is illegal. The Supreme Court is now taking on the case and raise the risk of an adverse ruling in Politico basically saying the opinion could lead to a sea change in how essential government agencies function and potential chaos every time Congress engages in brinkmanship over funding. So you may be wondering, all right, how does this relate to Social Security? What does this have to do with that? Getting into it right here. Essential government agencies and programs, including Social Security and Medicare, both of which were administered by independently funded bodies, would see their sources of independent funding vulnerable to challenge. The Federal Reserve, responsible for monetary policy and our payment system, would be particularly at risk given that runs on fees and profits from its market operations like the CFPB. Essentially, Baer said, deciding that the CFPB can no longer be independently funded would open the floodgates for legal challenges against every other agency with a similar funding structure. It would also jeopardize those agencies' operations in the event of government shutdown, for example, if their funding relied on Congress. So, how does this affect Social Security? Basically, what it's saying here is that if they lose this case because they are the CFPB is getting funding from from Congress, from the government or federal funding, and it's being questioned, that means every federal program could be questioned as well. So for the Democrats, they want Social Security to keep going on as is, but this could open up an opportunity for the Republicans to dismantle Social Security, or not dismantle, it's the wrong word, but to restructure Social Security in a way that is different than it is now, which is what they've been trying to do. So in terms of Social Security at risk, basically what it's saying here is that the CFPB is future is at stake, as in this court decision, along with the future of every other banking regulator. And the possible fallout doesn't stop there. Social Security and Medicare are also operated outside the annual appropriations process. A bad decision in the Supreme Court could wreck the financial security of millions of families and turn our economy upside down. So just when we thought we were in the clear in regards to Social Security and the government shutdown, looks like this could maybe have some negative repercussions, although I don't see that Social Security could really be at risk. I could see it being at risk for some restructuring and changing and questioning due to this, but I don't think people's Social Security checks are going to be cut or diminished or delayed due to the Supreme Court ruling. At least that's my opinion when I get from the article. So let me know your thoughts on that. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, I am both feelings my sticks. Be bye. And guys, if you want to be fashionable, be fashionable. Do whatever you want to do now, yes, or never. Because that if you do it now, you'll do it. And you have the experience about it. So that's all I wanted to tell for you today. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching, and if you're curious what the billions of dollars that the Social Security Administration is demanding back from people that it paid, what's going on with those overpayments, click this video right over here. I have another update coming out in a few days, but this is the big problem right in this video as urgent letters are being sent out. So if you got a letter, definitely want to take a look at this video right here, and we'll talk more about it there. And that is it. Hopefully you have a great day. Thank you for watching. Take care. Be safe. Thank you for watching.